Hey everyone, I am actually back in the human race office. And so I am hopping on for our really fun series where we introduce humble heroes to you, many of which are participating nonprofits in the human race or sponsors in the human race. And we're lucky enough to have an organization that is both. So I have Darlene and May with me from Hand in Hand Water Safety. Hey ladies.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well considering, right? I think we're all doing our best. So tell me a little bit about the organization and what your mission is.
So our mission is to equip all people with water safety education and resources to prevent drowning related accidents, which includes the layers of protection. We envision a world without drowning. We believe that everyone, regardless of gender, age, ethnicity, if I said that right, geographical location, level of education, socioeconomic status, should have access to water safety education. We envision a future where this knowledge is passed down to younger generations, instilling confidence in water safety around the water. So I get emotional because I'm very passionate about this. So anyway,
yeah,
so
no, that's okay.
I cry about it because it's very important. So
tell us about that.
The reason it's important is because, and I don't have any specific situation that happened to me, but I hear about it so much because it's the #1 cause of accidental death between 1 and 4. And I've joined so many water safety groups across the United States and actually internationally as well. And it's just daily, all the time, drowning. And the biggest thing is parents didn't know. They didn't know about, the dangers of the water or how fast it is, how silent it is, things they could have been doing to prevent it, and they had no idea. So we're trying to get pediatricians to join in and help educate with that, at least let people know that it's the #1 cause of death and what they can do around their house to protect them. And we're not really getting that. We're getting a little more now because unfortunately they've had some celebrities that have lost kids to drowning. So now these celebrities are getting with the AAP and making some changes, and they're getting with pediatricians and making changes, which is awesome. But it sucks that we have to get celebrities to have a loss to have this happen. So we're getting some action now, but our big thing is to make sure that every single person can get swim lessons, and not even just swim lessons, but survival lessons. Learning how a little child could turn around and float on their back and breathe and cry for help and not be panicking and not know what to do. So yeah, so that's why I get kind of emotional, because we are saving lives. I've had 4 calls this week of kids, my students, that have saved themselves just this week. So
that's a win.
Very, very
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing that. And so to encourage you, the people do this work because they are passionate about it. And so I thank you for sharing that and for sharing your heart, for this mission, because I think that is what comes across, and that is what listeners and viewers connect with. So thank you for that. So Darlene, tell us a little bit about your role, and May, I would love to hear your role as well. You guys have so many programs, so tell me a little bit about that.
So I've been a lifeguard and a swim instructor for years, since I was 16, and I'm in my 40s now. So all this time I've worked for city pools and different organizations, and no one really talked about drowning. We were taught how to save somebody, but I didn't know this whole time for 20 years that drowning was the #1 cause of death. And all these other educational things I didn't know. So when I started learning about that, and then I found ISR, which is the infant survival swim lessons, I watched and researched and talked to people about that program. And I was just like, why are we not teaching this to everyone? This just makes no sense. So I ended up getting certified. And then when I got certified to teach it, I tried to go to the police department and different organizations to try to get maybe them on board and help them let people know I'm here. And it was advertising. So you can't really get that information out. And I was like, but it's education and we've got to get that out. So quickly, that for that reason, and because people needed help with the payments, like to pay for lessons. There was a lot that needed financial assistance. So for those two reasons, I said we need to start a foundation, because we need to raise funds for people that can't afford it, and we need to raise funds, or we need to educate and let people know that we're here, like this is what we're doing. It's not just about, oh, come to me for swim lessons. Even if you never come for swim lessons, there's so much education that can get out, period, across the board. And we've been 4 years now, and we have about 80 volunteers, and they help us educate and get the word out and go to mommy groups and stuff and talk. And we're starting to slowly get into pediatricians' offices where they get our information out, and they just give out like the layers. That's our biggest thing, is those layers. So we always preach that the number one layer is supervision. And we talk about being a water watcher and what that means. Like, you can drown in 20 seconds, and that's silent, and what to watch for, to constantly have your eyes on the child. Be right there. And then number two is fencing, gates, and alarms. And there's specific child safety fences that can go around your pool, specifically around your pool. So that's the layer two. Layer three is survival swim lessons. And then we educate on the difference between a swim lesson and a survival swim lessons. And then 4 is knowing CPR. So we kind of make sure that those 4 layers, that people know they can make those layers in place, put them in place. And I think that's pretty much all.
Yeah, well, I actually got involved through Darlene from my old job. So she came in one day, and we were just going back and forth talking, and she was like, oh, well, look what I do. And she showed me a baby, maybe 8 or 10 months, and she just kind of whoop, and the baby turned over and floated. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, like, just my heart was just racing. And I was like, there's like that. It blew my mind. So she asked me if I was interested and would I like to volunteer. So for about a month and a half, I volunteered. I was in the water, just kind of helping where I could, whatever I could do, because I grew up on the coast in California. So I was always in the water. I was always in trouble in the water. And I never realized how much of a problem it is. And when I started asking people that I know, and I'm definitely now 40, so, the younger generation that I'm with, I asked, and I'm like, hey, do you know how to swim? Do you know how to swim? Do you know how to swim? And it's insane to realize how many people who are so close to you don't have this life-saving skill. And it breaks my heart to know that they are at risk, and I'm here, and I want to help, and I just want to make sure that everybody has these skills, because it can happen to anyone, whether you're the strongest swimmer or not. You need to be trained, and you need to have the education on how to save yourself in any situation when it comes down to the water. So it pulls on my heartstrings, because I've had 1 or 2 students save themselves, and I've only been teaching for less than a year. So it weighs heavy on my heart, for sure.
Well, you guys definitely have the right team in place. I think you have to be driven by that passion. And I've learned so much just from hearing you just in this moment. And I'm having a baby in August. And so I'm like, okay, yes, I should be thinking about this. And yes, I need to be signing my child up for these things. So tell me a little bit about, so how can people utilize the services that you offer? Where can they find you? What's the best website for them to get involved?
bewatersafe.org is the best website. And then you can see all the tabs on top, in the middle, it'll say get involved, and they'll say for volunteers. And it'll walk you through the process. There's a questionnaire that they fill out. And then there's different, social media pages that you can like and subscribe to, has a list of them. But the questionnaire is the very first thing, because it'll send us a message saying like what you can do, what you would like to help us with, and options and stuff like that. And then we'll reach out to you and pair you up where it works best. So you can do in-person volunteering, you can come to events, you can sponsor as a business, you can give us auction items. We have a gala once a year, and we have a water safety day once a year. So those have both been postponed due to COVID, but we are hoping, we're locked down for September 5th and September 6th. So I'm hoping those will go. But right now they're postponed, but those are our biggest events of the year and get the information out. But businesses can help, and they can auction item stuff. They can send donations. Right now our Facebook fundraisers and like Amazon have been our biggest things because it's all online right now. But yeah, so we're kind of on hold at the moment, but basically social media is where we're getting education out right now.
Perfect. And then obviously you're fundraising through the human race. So
Yes.
what is your goal? Tell us what your goal is and where that money will go. And so we can encourage people to help you reach that goal.
Right. So, I don't know what our team goal is, maybe like 2,000. I'm not sure because we have kind of a small team, but, Alicia has been helping get that all put together. She thought of some like outside the box stuff. So her kids actually made some tie-dye shirts and Chex Mix and paintings and stuff, like canvas paintings, and then they sold them, and that was like our online thing. So she's encouraging more families to do that for you guys so that we'll have that. And I think she may have raised like 200 so far for that. So we're hoping we can we've had to really think of outside the box for this whole COVID thing. So I'm hoping a lot of parents get onto that and do what she did, because that actually was a really cute idea. So what was the other question?
Where our funds will go.
Oh,
and they're going to go straight to any lessons that we can provide to anyone who pretty much applies. We really want to help underprivileged families who don't have the same amount of opportunities that, all of us do. So we really want to focus on that and try to help wherever we can, especially. So even 2,000, if we got there, that would be an immense help to our foundation and our mission and our vision.
Yeah. And due to COVID, we've had more people that have applied for financial assistance because they've lost their job or something has happened. So our funding has gone down a little bit, not with Hand in Hand. We partner with Live Like Jake out of Florida, and they help with some ISR lessons, but they have cut their funding for the rest of this year because of COVID. So we have less funding coming in from anywhere, and we have more families needing it. So it's a very, very important year to get some extra help in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then the other thing on that too is a lot of people are buying because they're stuck at home. So they're buying, and a lot of the pools aren't opening. So they're buying above ground pools and putting them in their backyard, which is now increasing the risk of drowning because now they're all at home, they're home all day, and that's all they're doing is swimming. So, and they're not getting swim lessons, they're not getting all that. So we're already seeing drowning numbers go up this year. So we have a triple problem, which is really, really frustrating. So I'm hoping we can get some information out so we can reach people and let them know what they can do.
Well, thank you for that. Is there anything else you all want to add? I'm going to, after this, I'll share my screen and show everyone where to donate to help you reach your goal.
Okay. Awesome. No, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.